Hey, brother, there's an endless road to rediscover.
Okay.
Alright, so, woman, if there was someone stuck in LOL, what would you recommend for them to do?
What is LOL?
LOL is...
where people get cancer.
Well, no. Well, LOL is... so imagine that you're in a math... Like, alright, so imagine you're in school. And you get assigned 4 classmates to do a math project. Okay? And you're really good at math. And none of them know anything. So you can't pass the project.
So I get half the project?
No. So you can't pass.
Because of your...
Because of your classmates.
Yeah.
Why not? If I'm that good at math, why can't I carry the other 3?
Holy shit!
You're smoking! I'm gonna ask you that again. Oh, what did you take? Is it in the water? What's going on? You sound like somebody who's high. And I'm from the 60s. I know high.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, real.
So you don't think that the classmates would be able to hold you back?
No, because I will tell you what happened to me when I was in high school and I had a project to
Tell
do.
me about it. Tell me about your experience in
will tell
LOL.
you. And it was in ancient civilization, and this girl and I were to work on a project of our choice, and we chose the Parthenon in Greece, the Acropolis.
Okay.
So the first day we got together at my house, and we got the hill made, or the mountain, whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
made out of plaster of Paris, and we ran out of the plaster of Paris.
Okay.
So she had to go home, and the next day, my father went to the store to get me more plaster of Paris so that this girl and I could then, we were going to continue to work on this project, which then she was just never able to come to the house again to get it done because she lived further away from me to where you needed a car to get back and forth. She didn't have a ride. We didn't have a car. I couldn't pick her up, and I couldn't go to her house. So I ended up doing the whole damn project.
Frustrating.
Okay, I had to make the Parthenon, the broken columns. I had to make little trees. I had to paint. I had to put little grass things here and there. I did it all. I not only got an A+, which she shared with me, but my teacher came to me and asked me if I would accept his putting it in some kind of a national archive type thing for kids who did these projects because it was so excellently done. It took 2 boys and me to carry it from my house onto the bus and then from the bus into school, into the classroom. It was that heavy.
Okay.
So we got an A+, and all she did was help me make a mound of plaster of Paris.
So she held you back a lot, but you still...
You think? I spent all week working on that thing.
So you climbed out of LOL.
You bet.
Wow.
Wow, such fascinating.
So that's why I'm asking you if I'm that good at math and the others suck at it,
Uh-huh.
why can't I just carry them? What's the problem? See, that's again your generation. It's if we can't all do it, we should all share it. No.
Okay, can you see my screen? Are you colorblind?
I can see it, and I'm not colorblind.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Let me just read over these quickly and then decide how we're gonna go, whether it's like top to bottom or all over the place, etc.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Teemo, okay.
Yeah, I'm a Teemo main.
Yeah. Oh man. Some of these, well, it's important to note that some of these questions can be talked about for hours.
I know. Yeah, that's why it was so hard to kind of filter that in my brain.
And even after they've been talked about for hours, you need to go and
Practice.
feel it out, right, and then be able to talk about it more so that you can come at it from other angles.
Okay.
So some of them are really difficult. I mean, we can talk about them in layman's terms, but beyond that, it would eat up so much time.
So I thought maybe like watching a game might be better, but I don't know.
Watching a game, well, if you, so something no one's ever done for like a verbal yet is, they've, like, you could technically get an hour-long video or like a 30-minute video of clips put together like a montage and attach questions to them. That's something no one has ever done yet. But I'm not opposed to it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah, that's a good idea.
that is a tool that some people could use.
Like, here's a situation where I don't know what to do. Like, can you comment on it, kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
What is your OPGG?
Okay, I sent it to you in the question list, but I have two names. Let me just type them out. Probably easier. My main, and then my Smurf.
Okay. Oh. Alright, I thought you would link me the OPGGs. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. No,
No, it's okay. Alright, you're gold 3. Oh god, you're like a team only.
Yeah, just on my main. On my Smurf, I try a lot of other things, but for now, yeah, I definitely would
Okay.
like Teemo
Okay.
only. And then I secondary put mid, so I just do Morgana mid if I get mid.
Okay.
I started trying the Ginsu's after I watched you play it.
The team. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually like that a lot for split pushing. It's just kind of rough for a team fight, I feel like, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, well we can talk about Teemo if you want to. I'm totally open to that. I mean, I have the folder that could maybe answer you all things Teemo right here. This folder contains over 100,000 words written about Teemo. And then there's screenshots of all the mushroom placements on the map. It's everything. It's my Teemo Bible that never got made because video editor is, well, not my new video editor, but the one before just you know, you can't expect much from people that are actually unwilling to do work. So, you know.
Yeah.
But I could probably just give you that. I mean, well, I can't give you it, but I can give you stuff inside of it, or some stuff, obviously. I can't give you the
any
entire
help
thing.
would be great. I mean, I just, you know, it looks like it would be a really nice resource, but
Yeah. So that's fine. I can give you that. That's no problem. But that literally goes over everything. It shows the math between Runons and Gunsu. Although it's not updated as of... It was updated to October. It was not updated after the change to some of the AP items. But for the most part, it's basically still going to be the same. The Runon's Wits End... Gunsu's going to deal more than Nashor's did. It's Teemo's strongest DPS build. Because depending on who you're attacking, you can essentially deal true damage to some targets. And when Teemo's attack speed is 2.42, which is what I think that you get with the build, when it comes out to 2.42, I mean, you're hitting them with like 400 true damage. You know what I mean? You end up hitting them for about 1,000 true damage every second, and that's really rough because there's very few champions in the game that can deal with that. And he'll even shred tanks. Like he'll shred 4,000 HP tanks that have 200 MR. And about he can 1v1 them and he'll kill them before they can kill him. So it's interesting. The problem with him though is he usually does suicide to do it. Like even though he kills them, it's mostly a positional factor. Like, he demands so much attention, and you can't just let him not... You know what I mean? You can't let him go unchecked, because if he has Runon's Gunsu Wits and Sorkpen Elixir, he raises a tower, I think, in about 5.5 seconds or something. He kills it in 5.5. I think that's the fastest tower shred. It's even faster than Master Yi. So
I started trying the ZZ Rot too with it, and it kind of makes it a lot faster as well, I think.
Really?
I don't know if that's good or not, but I figured it would be.
The problem with it, the only thing I'm thinking, the ZZ Rot's interesting, but the problem with ZZ Rot is it falls off if, you know, their entire base is open. Well, it doesn't fall off completely, but the one thing that you're missing by getting ZZ Rot is you don't have Abyssal. Which means that pen or that... Because Abyssal isn't necessarily just the pen, it's the MR. So when you factor in the steal from Wits End, it also means the AP carries generally can't come kill you.
Okay.
So, like, LeBlanc will actually die. If she distortion ends on Teemo, he can kill her before she can distortion back, because he's too tanky for her. Because he just has too much MR via the Wits End and via the Abyssal Scepter. He'll kill Lux if she misses the binding. The only AP carry I think that can kill him straight up is either going to be a full AP Annie or like a Victor. He can kill Zeroth, he'll kill Morgana, he'll kill Twisted Fate, he'll kill... Who else is there, AP? He'll obliterate Lulu. It's not even a fucking... She just can't do anything to him. And that's how it goes. And when it comes to team fighting, though, in the later stages, you need the Runons, because it lets you apply Wits End to three people, and it's just too good. It's too strong. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right.
Anyways, that's pretty much that. So I can give you stuff like that. Outside of that, though, you've played about.
So those stats are going to be a little
games.
deceiving, just because I tanked this account from like a platinum MMR down to a silver MMR, just playing
What?
Lucian and Caitlyn and just losing my ass off over and over and over and over again until I got down to silver, so I could start like trying new stuff, just so I can get an account into silver, because this is my Smurf.
Wait, this is your Smurf, Meatface,
Yes, that is my Smurf. Yeah.
and your main is Teemo only.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I use my Smurf to try new things and maybe learn new champions so I can bring it into my main account. But right now I'm just kind of most comfortable with Teemo, trying to climb with him. So
Are you just trying to be a Teemo one trick?
No, I mean, I wanted. So the reason I started playing Teemo in the first place was mostly because his kit was so simple, and I wanted to learn to play the top lane, just kind of learn the macro side and not have to worry about mechanics. And
Okay.
so I figured Teemo was a lot of like strategy. I mean, to be good, it's really easy to play him, but it's like hard to play him well. I feel like.
Yeah,
So,
he is. He is hard to play well.
So I thought it would be a good way to just kind of learn the game. I've only been playing ranked since like middle of last year, so
Okay.
I'm just trying to get better, and I figured the easier champs are the better way to do that. And that was probably one of my, I think it was like ninth or 10th question was, what kind of dittos are there with Teemo that I can kind of maybe expand to in the top lane?
Kale.
But I thought, yeah, Kale could be a good one.
Kale's a very close ditto to him in the sense that she builds almost identical. And they have a lot of similarity. I mean, Teemo in the laning phase, I don't view him as a lane bully. I view him sort of like the Joker, of top lane. Like, he's meant to be a bully, but he benefits much more from extraction and like bleeding of the opponent.
Yeah.
More than he does than just killing them over and over. Like,
Like Pantheon kind of thing?
yeah, he doesn't actually, like, obviously it's nice if he kills you 4 times in a row, and, he can do that like, against a lot of matchups, but there is so much more to gain if he can have, like, a 15 to 17 minute laning phase, and he's able to just have shrooms galore, and he gets a 3-to-1 CS advantage, which is something that he can do in a lot of matchups. It's not uncommon to have like 150 CS to like 60 or something, depending on what the matchup is. And then obviously there's some matchups that people think Teemo counters in, but actually he loses in. The most classic being Tryndamere. Teemo loses to Tryndamere.
That's a tough one.
It's really annoying, but a lot of people think that Teemo just beats him really hard, and that's actually not true at all. It's true if Tryndamere doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
Which is true of any champ then, right?
Well, basically, if Teemo has 100 games, on Teemo versus Tryndamere, and Tryndamere has 100 games on Teemo Tryndamere versus Teemo, Tryndamere's gonna win. If it's a Tryndamere that has only played against a Teemo like 5 or 10 times, he's probably gonna lose.
Right. Okay.
And that just has to do with because basically Tryndamere players don't understand the low HP fight that they're supposed to force to occur, levels like 2 to 3. Like, basically, Tryndamere's supposed to make it so that he and Teemo both have like 200 HP or like 150 HP at like level 2. And from there, the Q spam and the threat of like a flash E crit, even through Teemo's blind, because his blind isn't strong enough at rank 1, the duration's not long enough. It's basically like Tryndamere's ability to feign lethal makes up the laning phase. And so on Teemo, what you have to do, and it's even inside of the book of Teemo, is you have to just leave E at 2 points, and then you have to put 3 points to Q, and then you max W. If you don't do that, Tryndamere always beats you. It's not even a match, but as long as you get the 3 points into Q, it's relatively fine. Because mathematically, that enables you to take X amount of combos against him, and inside of the all-in, it should put you at a high enough HP where you can tank like 2 crits and still live after the blind concludes, and then you'll end up killing him as the Undying Rage fades. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah. But anyways, okay, so let's talk about, alright, can I give you some solid split pushing tutorial? So, the split push is weird because it's character dependent, and on top of that, it's also dependent on the opponent's champions, and it's also dependent on who your champions are, like on your team. For Teemo, it's even more so unique because there's the mushroom aspect that you have to learn about placing. Where do you stand? You have to think about who's going to come stop my split push. Where are they going to stand when they try to CS the wave? Are they going to come with a teammate? Do they have a pink ward? Do they have a sweeping ward? There's all these things that you have to entertain when you're doing it on him, and then especially like making use of his passive, like in the middle of the lane. Because if Tryndamere, so let's say that this is a bot tier 2, right? So you have the tower, you have the entrance, okay, and like blue buffs over here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then there's like wolves up here. Okay, so you have the entrance and you have this thing. Okay, so there's tower, and then there's this, and then there's the entrance over here again, and then down here is another tower. Okay. So a lot of people, when they're split pushing and this tower is killed, all right, they can push up the lane to here, and then generally they have to run back down to like here, and they have to wait, and they'll generally have like a ward over here and then a ward over here. This is like layman's, explanation. Okay, Teemo's a little bit different. Teemo can wait right here.
Yep, and stealth.
Okay,
yeah.
and he can stealth. And then if the opponent comes like this, dead. If the opponent comes up like this and they cross a certain threshold, dead. If the opponent, comes over here, they're allowed to live, but then if they try to go like this, there should be a mushroom right here, dead. So there's a lot of guerrilla warfare tactics that Teemo has that some other split pushers just don't have because they can't do it. I mean, obviously, if you're split pushing on like an Evelyn or something, I mean, I guess you can do it if you have like Lichbane. And then there's also the brush and knowing how to make use of the brush, and then when do you wait inside of the blue brush, blue buff brush, whatever. And so this is weird to talk about because you have to know when to do it. You also need to know when to get Sork Elixir on him, for raising the towers. And these are just things that are, if you devote all of your time, because one of your questions are about the fundamentals. So if you devote all your effort into learning these things, what's going to end up happening if your fundamentals aren't strong is that you're going to believe, or you're not going to deviate from whatever you've learned. And because your fundamentals aren't actually strong, you're not actually winning at the game, you're winning at what you're doing, which is different. They're two different things.
Okay.
So if you get really good at split pushing, and you get really good at knowing how to do it, on Teemo, what's going to begin to happen is because you're playing the game, so much, and because the players that you're encountering are all going to be so different, the variance is going to be really high on the split push that you're executing. So when you're executing the split push, what's going to happen is slowly and gradually you'll keep climbing, but then you'll keep having to change gears on it because you're going to have to adjust relative to the level of players that you're playing against. And that's not healthy. Because it's not that you're having to adjust the mechanic of split push, it's that you're having to adjust the mechanic of split push on Teemo. Which I think is not detrimental to overall growth, but what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna plateau very, very often, and there might just come a point where you've changed up how you're going about something so much, or you get stuck in such a habit that you just stop improving.
Okay.
And that's
So would your
possible.
suggestion be to kind of spread out into other split push style champions, or just to kind of like maybe start playing a tank, just go the opposite direction and just learn kind of a different style of top lane? Would that be better?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, there's no one forcing you to play, tanks. No one's forcing you to play split push. No one's forcing you to play anything.
True.
It's more so about what you want to do. Because until you're, playing for a team, and when I mean a team, I mean like a challenger series. I don't mean like you and a group of buddies are playing every Saturday night. I don't mean that at all. Until you're playing for a team, there's no one forcing you to have to do anything. Nothing's actually required of you. So if that's the case, then you don't have to worry about what you're doing. If you do want to broaden your knowledge and improve your overall fundamentals on split push, then yes, you don't just play Teemo. You can play like Kayle, you can play Tryndamere, you can play Master Yi jungle, you can play Fiora. I mean, technically, any champion can split push. Obviously, just not as effectively as some other ones. But for the most part, there's a lot that you could do. The other thing about Teemo is there's not a lot of good sources for him anymore, because Rain Man's terrible, and the other person that plays Teemo, I think there's a jungle Teemo guy. Which
Shakeman. Yeah, there's one guy that's an NA challenger Teemo, Ivan Pavlov. And
he's not good.
Yeah, he plays Hextech Gunblade, and he's been trying out Lies and a few other things that I don't know. I started to play until I saw that stream of you playing the Ginsu. That's when I switched over to that. But it's hard to know. There's no like consolidated source, and everyone builds Teemo differently. A full AP hybrid. And
well, there is benefit. Like, okay, so Ivan's okay at Teemo. He's probably the best neutral Teemo that produces content, right? Like, but there's, I mean, I don't know how serious people have taken Teemo. Now, for me, Teemo is like a weird subject because when I first played the game, I only played Teemo, and back when I was actually playing and trying to be competitive before anyone knew me as LS or Last Shadow in the League community. I took Teemo to a high MMR on Korea. And I didn't just look at Teemo as like the AP canon. I played every single variation, which is basically what Ivan does. Ivan experiments a lot. And I played with him in some games on NA, and it's really weird because I don't want to say that he doesn't know what he's doing sometimes, but there's just so many things that he doesn't do with Teemo that Teemo can do. And I want to think that it's actually just because he doesn't know. Because he does things that are so unrefined. But he is so good at the neutral game of Teemo. Like the laning phase, he's very good at playing safe. He's very good at playing methodically. That he does climb, and he does deserve credit in that regard. But he's incapable of playing Teemo much beyond what he does, and so because of that, it's sort of gimped in some ways. But if you do want a neutral resource for someone that is very solid at the champion, then yes, he's probably the best go-to that exists because there's no one that makes Teemo content.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of draw from his stream is kind of just understanding. I think he builds the Hex Tech just to be, I feel like, a little safer. I guess maybe
Hex Tech's terrible. It's so bad.
Yeah, I feel like it's got the life steal, but again, you're not going to be. I don't know. It's a lot safer of an item. I feel like, and it does
so bad. Its itemization paths for him are absolutely terrible. If he actually played again, because you have to understand that NA top laners in NA are all atrocious. Okay. He's playing against people that they don't play against Teemo. They don't take the game that serious, and they're not naturally competitive. So he's able to get away with a lot of things that they just shouldn't. And that's just the god honest truth. You can't build Gunblade on Teemo. Like the wind up for it. Because one of the things about Teemo that's really nice, and I talk about this in the book of Teemo, is the fact that he benefits from epic items. I don't know if you ever played like World of Warcraft.
No.
But like epics were not nearly as difficult to obtain as like legendaries. And what I mean by that is like you look at his items, okay, and how much they cost in terms of gold. So like Teemo, Jesus, Chiso item. Okay, so we're gonna go to oh Jesus. Okay. So we're gonna go here, okay? So he needs, alright, so Nashor's isn't an item that he really gets. Alright, so he needs Wit's End, so 2,800 gold, okay? Then he needs Runon's Hurricane, 2,600 gold, okay? So he's at 5,400 gold. Other champions end up investing, like, look at this, 3,800. Okay? 3,800 in a BF sword, in terms of an 80 carry, is already, Teemo's already, on two core items, and the 80 carry is on like 1.25.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And those items aren't bad on Teemo. Like, he totally benefits from them. Just as much as an 80 carry is going to benefit from a Triforce and a BF sword. So because of Teemo's ability to accelerate very, very fast, because his items are all extremely cheap, he also has enhanced power spikes. As soon as Teemo gets Gunsus, the lane changes. He goes from beating you to pulverizing you, and it's not even a contest. So if you complete your core item and Teemo completes his core item, his is infinitely stronger than yours. Just because he obtains it faster. There's no way to not obtain your cores as Teemo than another champion, and that's one of his strengths. That's one of his huge benefits, is that all of his items have the same build path, and not only do they have the same build path, their wind-up is extremely similar. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so Stinger, or like when you're building into Wit's End, okay? So you get Recurve Bow. All right, 25% attack speed, okay? And then when you're waiting to build into Recurve Bow, you end up getting the dagger. So you're at 36% attack speed. Well, the completed item only gives 40%. So in terms of attack speed, you're basically getting the same thing. If you have the No Magic Mantle, you're only 15 MR. So the only thing that you're really missing is that huge, disgustingly gross M-Pen and the on-hit.
Yep.
So it's like they're fighting against you, and they're fighting against all of the base stats that the item provides, and then suddenly, like, this disgusting thing just occurs, where now Teemo is suddenly dealing 25 more pen to you. He's tanky, so if you're like a Lissandra top, you're like a Lulu, you're a Rumble or something like that, you no longer damage him either, and it's just the most bizarre thing in the world, where he just... He leaves lane, and he hops away in, like, a bunny outfit, and he comes back like fucking Meganar. And it's like you don't know what's happening. It doesn't make any sense, and that's his strength. But when you build these really bizarre items, like where is it? Hold on. When you build what the fuck? I have two things selected. Sorry. When you build Gunblade 3400, okay, he gets 40 AD and 80 AP. Okay, I can tell you right now, all right, that obviously the sustain is nice. Okay, Wit's End deals more damage than this item because of the pen. And because of the on-hit. Because Teemo's AP ratio is on the... Like, I literally have, like, I think it's a 12,000 word fucking... I want to say it's 12,000 words on the mathematics of Teemo and all of his... I'm not going to click it, because obviously I'm streaming, but I will look after. There is an entire thing in here that goes over the mathematics of all of Teemo's builds, and it shows all the DPS, DPS things.
Let's see.
But anyways, that you can't build him like this. Now there is the variant of the AP Teemo, which is the full AP with Leandries and stuff, and that one is so like hit or miss. Like sometimes
I feel like it's just
nice.
too easy. I just feel like it's too easy to counter. Just
It has
building
too much
MR.
counterplay.
Yeah, I mean it's just too much counterplay too. But one question I did have was because I actually went into Ivan's stream and I asked him once what he thought of the Ginsu build. And he just thought, from his perspective, it's too difficult at his elo to hit 8 autos onto a single champion before they either kill you or...
But you're not supposed to hit champions.
Right.
Teemo is literally supposed to be a suicide bomber. He takes the tower and he takes your life. That's how he's supposed to play. Like, so, well, I mean, obviously, you don't want to tunnel him into one thing. You don't want to contain him, like, into just doing one thing, because then... you harbor on, that's the only thing I can do. That's not true. But the thing is that when Teemo's, like, here, okay, taking the tower in bot lane, and there's the entrance to golems, okay, here's the two little golems over here, they're hanging out, and Teemo's raising this tower. They have 6 seconds to respond if Teemo has 2 core items and a Sork Pen Elixir. Or about 7 seconds. If he has 3 core items, it's about 5.5 or something, that he'll shred the entire tower, okay? So now, let's say that, let's say Fiora, okay, comes around here like this. If she hits a mushroom, she's dead. If she doesn't hit a mushroom, it's even. But what you can end up doing is, as you're attacking the tower, you can throw the mushroom on top of yourself and then keep hitting the tower. If they hit the mushroom, you just trade with them. It doesn't matter if they kill you, the poison's gonna kill them in the end. Like, there's very few champions that can just appear in a lane and shove him out. And it doesn't matter how tanky they are. I'm sure that you know this if you've played the builds, but he just has too much penetration. He has 15 coming out of the Sork Pen boots. He has another 25, that's 40, okay? He gets 20 more from Abyssal Scepter, so that's 60 pen, plus Runes and Masteries. It's like... It's so sick how much damage they're taking. So he just lights it up. And realistically, the only people that can come and deal with him are going to be tanks, or they're going to have to come in pairs. But if they come in pairs, okay, the only benefit to the change to his mushrooms was going to be the fact that now they come out a little bit sooner. So if they're coming to you, have a mushroom here, you have another mushroom here, You have another mushroom inside of this brush, etc. There's like these booby traps that they have to go through, and this basically alerts you and it gives you enough time to get into a position that benefits you. And if your team somehow doesn't understand that 4 is greater than 3, well then, I mean, there's probably no helping them anyway. But he is so fast that even if your team takes a 5v4, if they trade 2, you probably win.
Right.
Because he's too quick at killing towers. It's literally, it's the most disgusting thing in the world. The only problem is if they have a Twisted Fate. Because then it's like one person comes to stop you, but then TF shows up behind you and it's a flank. And then the best thing that you can do is like TF is like wild carding in and his animation thing. You just throw a mushroom on it, and you try to kill him.
Okay.
Like you just try to take him down with you. It's like Drag Me to Hell. Like the gates open up and like Teemo's claw just like pulls on his leg, like brings him down with you. Like that's what you have to do. Oh God, what did I just do?
I guess along those lines, then another question I have is if my team doesn't understand the 4v3, and I'm on my way to split pushing, say topside tier 2 tower, and my team isn't creating any pressure on the map, and they're just kind of farming jungle or just doing what they want. Is that a time for me to just kind of back off and wait for my team to start pressuring something, or can I still split push on my own?
You can still Teemo can still split push on your own. The only time where you have to start grouping is when you constantly are getting like beaten by their warding. Like if they just beat you to the punch on wards every single time, then they can successfully match you. And if they're matching you at every point, then what you need to do is you need to make use of your passive, and then you need to make use of your team fighting. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay, we're good. Alright, sorry. We've been talking about Teemo for a while. But anyways, that's pretty much that. Let's get into other questions so we don't use up all the time on Teemo, because I don't even know how much we just talked about Teemo. Holy shit.
Hour, yeah.
We talked like 35 minutes.
To be honest with you, like he is my main, so I don't mind if we talk the whole hour on Teemo, just because it's not a big deal. But.
I mean, do you have all his shroom? Here, I'll show you the shrooms. I don't care.
I mean, if there's anything that I can do to help you get this Teemo guide finished,
I need a video. I need an editor. I also need the audio again because I deleted the audio because it was so many gigabytes. But I know someone that has the audio. So these are his Baron wards. Take note of them because the Scuttle Crab won't hit these. Okay, I literally spent hours.
That's where I put them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Scuttle Crab won't hit these. These are his blue wards. Now, obviously, you can improvise as well. You know what I mean? Like, you can put one here. Sometimes you put it in the middle of the thing. Because you have to mix it up. You can't do the same wards every single time throughout the game. But these are his very generic ones. This is really nice. This setup, oh my god.
See, I've never done that before. What's the advantage there?
Well, okay, so what's going to happen is, say you're Lucian, okay? This is what's going to happen. Now, there's one of two things. Where either, oh, Jesus. Hold on one second. Epic pen. Fuck. Okay, so here's the thing. Alright, say that you're Lucian, and you go la-di-da-di-da, and you hit this. There's one of two responses that will happen psychologically, okay? They will turn back immediately. In turning back, they already take about 2 clicks of mushroom. Then they go through again, they hit it again.
Oh god, yeah.
So it's all just a psychological...
so simple. Yeah.
It's really simple. It's just psychological. So that can end up happening. In the event that they hit it and then they go through again, that's such a big slow. That it's so fucking because it stacks. Or it doesn't stack, but it, you know what I mean? It restarts. So that's pretty big. So this is bot side. This is very important. These ones. Because this is how you coordinate your split push onto the tower here. Obviously, there's going to be some cases where, you place another one here because you want, like, a line, whatever. This is really good. The only thing that you can do to this one is you could move it over a little bit more like that, but if you are going to do that, then you need to have one angled like this, so it's like this, because obviously no one is going to walk in a fucking zigzag. No one's going to come in like this, hit this, and then go like this. Psychologically, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, and then on top of that, a human being, their natural flee or chase path is always going to be cutting corners. That's just a psychological fact. If you're trying to run from someone or run from something, a dog or anything, you always just take the corner. So that's why you place the mushrooms like this. But you want to understand that they have a hitbox. You know what I mean? So don't place them exactly on the corner, unless you're trying to confuse something or confuse someone. Mid Teemos, mushrooms, these are really critical. The one thing that's important to note is you can easily do that thing, but this isn't as powerful since the changes to his mushrooms. Because they don't last as long, so doing stuff like that here isn't as effective. This is really fucking cute, though, for when they try to get greedy on you and do that. You know Lee Sins do this, okay? You have to know that they do this. So they think they're cute. So this is the only option, this is the only time that you do something like that. Additionally, imagine a trade happens right here. What do if they're the mid laner and they want to flash?
Yeah.
Okay? This is always going to be their route. So it's all mapped out. This is his dragon. Scuttle Crab won't hit this unless there's influence. Scuttle Crab will hit this, but there's nothing you can do about it. The brush one, obviously. But these are just his. This mushroom's really strong. This one.
Yeah, I do that every game almost.
And then this one's really strong as well. So you have to make sure that you're using these mushrooms. And then, anyways, you can just see all this, like. Top Teemo. These mushrooms are really nice, obviously. This one could be a little bit more optimal, but it could be okay. Well, we're not going to click on any of the text. But, and then I think that there is there's the tweet I tweeted. Let me go and find it for you. I tweeted it, God, I don't even know how long ago. It's an imgur. It must be in...
Pizza looks good.
That pizza was really good. Okay. Let me find it for you. Huh. I wonder if it didn't... Shit. Maybe it's on my Facebook. Alright, wait. I'll find it for you. We're not gonna count. We're gonna go 5 minutes over because I'm trying to find something. So don't worry about that. Jesus, I have no idea what this thing could be. God damn it. Alright, we're gonna do this. Literally gonna go through my entire Facebook and then I'm just gonna control F.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh dude, any posts? Alright, wait. Let's do 2015. Let's do August? Maybe it would be in August. God damn it. If anyone in chat... Oh, here it is. Never mind, someone in chat actually found it. See? Twitch chat is useful. I don't think this is the final version. This is pretty close to the final. It tells you his skill order for every matchup. Because every matchup's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it has top Teemo, and then you have mid Teemo.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay.
So here, I'll just give you the link to this. I thought that was in the book of Teemo, but I thought it was in the folder, but I guess it's not.
Okay. Awesome.
So that's good. Okay. So now you have that. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much that. Okay. But when you're playing him, it's really important to understand the economic component. He can fall behind. But the problem is that Teemo's wake up, and when I mean wake up, I feel like this is a term that I use a lot, and I guess it comes from fighting games, but I use it in the sense that, like, they get something, and then it's suddenly, like, they come alive. Teemo's wake up, it doesn't matter how far, but he can go 0-5, okay? If he gets to his Gunsu Wit's End with Sork Pen, he is always a threat. He'll kill you. It doesn't matter if you're a 5-item AD carry, he will kill you before you kill him. That's a fact. Okay, you can have QSS all that you want, he's still gonna 3-shot you. Like, that's, you know, just how it goes. And he raises towers really fast. But if Teemo falls behind, it's a bitch. And that's something that I will credit Ivan for being able to do, is he's able to play teleport Teemo. And that's something that I have struggled with. Like, just because I feel like if you do play perfect, if like you space perfectly, you play the mushroom game perfectly, you poke properly, etc., you don't need teleport. I think having teleport is bad, but it is an insurance policy. You know what I mean? If you do have it, and it can be really nice. In some matchups, though, you need to take exhaust, but I think I talked about that inside of the image. Like, against Riven, you shouldn't ever be able to beat Riven. You need exhaust to beat Riven. But then, once you get Gunsu, it's over. She can't ever get onto you if you have exhaust. If you have exhaust and she goes onto you, she's dead. So Riven, you don't actually kill, you make her kill herself. You know what I mean? Like, you throw a ton of subliminal messages her way via mushrooms and, like, attacking her, and then she just sort of snaps. You know? And then when she snaps, you just exhaust her, you spam Control 4 as the poison, you know, ticks away, and that's pretty much it. Okay, let's look at some of the other stuff. You want to make sure that your fundamentals are in order. Okay, so the thing about Teemo is he's really crucial on the clicks. And what I mean by that is, like, you need to make sure that your bouncing in lane is proper. You also want to make sure that you're using your passive properly. So I think, actually, here, I'll show you one thing. It's me versus a challenger tier Rengar. I think... So this is me versus a Rengar. This is just an example video. Because I asked a few one-trick ponies to come and play against me. For people that thought that they could win the lane.
So this is a one-trick Rengar?
Well, it was a one-trick Rengar.
Okay.
So this was a one-trick Rengar, and he was just on an ID, and we were just doing random stuff. So anyways, the stealth mechanic is important. He's on a friend's ID, but this is actually Anton, the challenger jungler that I coach sometimes. See this stealth mechanic? This is important because it enables you to get 2 auto attacks off from people that like to do bush kiting. If you don't make use of it, then you don't get 2 auto attacks, you just get 1. Yep. But for the most part, like,
yeah, I
feel like that was a that was a misstep by me.